Hey guys, Mike Potillo, I'm the president of Immunotec. We're talking about why Immunotec. And I retired about 4 years ago. My wife and I had a fantastic run in the business. And then a friend of mine, Mauricio Domenzine, he and I started talking again. And I didn't realize that he really didn't have a massive explosive launch when he bought the company in 2017 in the US, Canada, and Europe. Was mainly predominantly in Latin American markets. He didn't realize that I'd stepped away about 4 years ago from what I was doing, so we decided to partner up and really take a stable 30-year-old company with probably the most researched product in direct sales with Immunocal. I like to call it the body shot. And then add the sexiness to it, which is the simplicity, the marketing, the unification from the top down to really scale the company. So we put together a plan to double the size of the company in the next 2 years. We call it 2x27. Come be a part of it. Great question. So we've got a very clear 2-year vision. We call it 2x27. The whole idea, the company's 30 years old in 2026. We did about 200 million in sales last year, and we call 2x because we're going to double the company by the end of 2027. That's the goal. US, Canada, Europe. So we're big on building a unified culture. We've got a unified presentation from the company down, unified training. We've got 2 heads of business development for Canada, the US, the UK. They kind of cover that whole area. So we do online events, training, opportunity, but also in-person events. We got a great office in Houston, Texas, where we do fly-ins. We got a training room or presentation room where people can go. And it really is around our products. It's very experimental. Some people get together and do things in the home, others, online, but we've got a great culture of product users, medical professionals, but then also entrepreneurs. Portions of it are very established, right? Because you don't want to mess with the compensation plan that's actually working. You get the numbers, like we pay out, I think it's like 47% very consistently across the board in all markets in the plan, and that's without messing with the commissionable volume. An example, you pay $100 wholesale, right? Canadian, US, whatever, 90% of that is commissionable. So most companies that pay out a high in the comp plan, like 47%, you pay 100, you may be getting 50 or 60 commissionable volume. You're getting 90 on all of our products and packages. So, by the way, to expand upon that, I do things and Mauricio does things in the company on the corporate level. We do bonuses. So like we use trips, we use extra cash bonuses and product promotions as incentives to add to the comp plan instead of actually messing with the actual core of the comp plan. So if you look at the presentation that these guys can send you, the average income of gold is about $1,700 a month, like just on the position. When you add on the extra special promotional bonuses we have, it gets you well over $2,500. 5,000 is kind of an average diamond. And, again, a lot of diamonds make well over 10, 15,000, but if you look at just an average building the business without a lot of strategy, diamond will get you to 5,000 in every scenario. So we've got a brand new app that we invested about $6 million into. It's a great app. All of the tools at your fingertips. You click a button, you can send it to people that let you know when they go through it and see everything. That's more of the technology. We're doing a whole website upgrade in the next year. We use WhatsApp, we use email, and then we've got 2 heads of business development. I think I mentioned that earlier. We have in the US and Canada, we've got a GM for Canada, GM for US. Regional sales managers, like 3 or 4 of them for the US, 2 for Canada. So a lot of in-person and technology support. In the US and Canada, obviously, the last few years, it's been the transition from like recruiting consultants to doing customers. Because the Latin American influence with this company for 20 plus years, they recruit consultants as customers. So we're in this transition where we're incentivizing a lot more customer acquisition now in the US and Canada than we have in the past, just because the markets are wide open. We have a strong strategy right now that's in place for somebody to take advantage of. So an example would be the company started in Canada. So like it's a big piece. And then we have distribution centers in Canada, 2 of them, flat rate shipping. The product gets to the farthest territory within 3 to 5 days at the most. So we've got a very good rhythm in Canada. I mentioned we got a general manager, we've got 2 regional sales managers. Everything's translated into French, so we do French and English. Everything's localized. We are registered and approved through Health Canada with health claims. So like we actually have a health claim in Canada that talks about how we improve the immune system. Like the things that traditional businesses don't have, we have as a direct selling company because we started there and we've invested a lot of time and money there. Canada is literally like a silver platter waiting for somebody to eat. All of the things are in place: distribution, customer service, localized currency, and it's quick. This isn't an American company doing business in Canada. This is a Canadian company that came to America that still supports Canada as if we were on the ground there, which we are. The answer would be yes, but it's in niche communities. We have, I believe it's a Mennonite or Amish community in, I can't think what territory it's in. We have an organization in Calgary that is growing a little bit, but it's a lot of consumers. Like we have people in Canada that have been on this product auto ship for 25, 26, 27 years. So we have a lot of consumers in Canada that are just consuming the product, but the business building aspect is wide open. I think it goes back to how the company started. It started in Canada with 2 doctors and an entrepreneur, came into the US and did good in the Anglo market 30 years ago, but quickly they actually brought in again, I don't know all the specifics of who joined 25 years ago, but today you have a doctor, several doctors, actually hundreds of doctors that started from Mexico and have expanded. So Mauricio's Mexican, right? Speaks Spanish, first language. When he bought the company in 2017, it was natural for him to stay focused in Latin America, Colombia, Bolivia. We're in like 18 markets outside the US. And in the US, we are growing. It's just in the Spanish-speaking communities, predominantly California. We've got a full distribution center in California, a new 100-person experience center where they can go in and do meetings. So we do have great sales in America, but with our Latino community. That's where I come into play. We've had amazing success finding the right company at the right time and established. Like startups, I think are a thing of the past when it comes to people taking a serious look at growing. And when you can have an established company and the science, but then the sexiness of not being known, that's where there's opportunity. So you can walk down, whether it's West Palm or Canada or anywhere else, nobody knows Immunotec because they know it in Latin American communities. It's very well known. Doctors, thousands of doctors are using it, but here it's just wide open. So it's one of those things, thank goodness it's not known. I don't see any operational challenges. That's probably the best thing that Immunotec has going is that, like, I'm not an operator, let's be clear. You see me in accounting, come get me out. That's not my thing. Operations, Mauricio is probably one of the best operators I've seen from manufacturing. We own it. We know it from the beginning, raw material to the end product. So when you think about customer service, you will probably rave more about our customer service than any other company out there. So operation, manufacturing, scaling, it's covered. We've already got the infrastructure. I mean, we did 200 million last year. You don't need a massive amount of change in infrastructure to go from 200 even to 500. You just need to manufacture more products and have more leaders. And that's where, when you think about any company, that's where you really need the growth, is you got to go find the right leaders that see the vision of this product. They like the stability, they like the science, but they like the sexiness of being first. And so I don't foresee any scalable operational needs to double or even triple based on our current infrastructure. It's really finding the right leaders that want to be a part of that.